Hello, welcome back to the Askew Universe Retrospective, and today I'm going to talk about the third film in the Askew Universe, Chasing Amy. Now, Chasing Amy is kind of a personal film for Kevin Smith. It was independently financed, basically based off a relationship with the co-star of the film, Joey R. Adams, who plays Alyssa Jones, who, I don't know, I'm pretty sure she was referenced in Clerks as the girl's sister who Rick Darris takes out on a date, pretty much to the beach, if you remember that. And the Jones pop up quite a bit. The Jones siblings pop up quite a bit in the VS universe. Like I said, in Mallrats, the girl who writes the book Borgasm is the sister of Alyssa, who they bring up in this movie. And let's just say this movie resonates with me a lot. The just the story of a man falling in love with a woman, not necessarily falling in love with a lesbian, just a man falling in love with a woman who probably for some reason isn't the right one, or for some reason the relationship has a struggle. And here it's because he can't fathom the fact. Well, first she's a lesbian, which he doesn't really care, but it's later revealed that her sexual experience is so very different than his, and his, mind just can't think about her anymore with knowing her past, and that's really what the movie is about. And that's why it's called Chasing Amy, because he really likes this girl, but there's just something about the past she had that really triggers something in Holden, who's Ben Affleck, the main character. Kevin Smith has his character he's most like is Holden McNeil, which I can kind of see. The supporting cast includes Dwight Errol as Hooper X, as a gay man who pretends to be kind of a Black Panther kind of guy, saying Black Power, when really it's just a way to sell his comic, White Hating Coon, which is very funny. And you also have Jason Lee in a role that I absolutely love him as, Banky Edwards, the best friend of Holden McNeil, who's also they actually have a comic called Bloodman and Chronic, which comes back later. It's basically inspired by Jay and Silent Bob, who actually pay likeness rights to. And the whole movie is about identity, sexual orientation, and it's very tame nowadays. It's not as not I wouldn't say revolutionary, but not as brave, I would think, as it was in the mid '90s or late '90s. Because now we have a lot of more better, I would say, movies about gay people, bi people, people who sexual identity is a lot different than than the others. My only problem with this movie is Alyssa. The whole thing that defines her character is her sexual identity, which is works for the movie, but really her character, people Holden doesn't like her not because of her personality at one point, but because of her sexual experience, which is really shitty when I think about it. But really, Holden should just accept the fact that this is something I never accepted either. When I was a teenager, I'm 25 now, I always imagined my first time with a girl would be her first time too, and it would be a magical thing. It was like the most unrealistic imagination of having your first time with somebody, because most likely they probably had it before you, way before you, and done stuff you thought would rock their world when really it's just sex. And I think this movie really shows that Holden McNeil is very almost conservative compared to Alyssa, and that how his conservativeness really ruins their relationship and what happens at the end, I think is great. This is my favorite Kevin Smith movie, my favorite Musical Universe movie, and one of my favorite movies ever. I just love this movie. It just spoke to me in a way. The scene where Holden confesses his love to Alyssa is great. I think everybody's acting is amazing. This is probably the best directed Kevin Smith movie, not the shot composition, just because, again, his movies aren't fantastically shot in any way. It's the direction of actors that he's really good at, and his dialogue is great. So I really think that this is the best Kevin Smith movie, and a good movie about the identification of a person, sexuality, and being different. So, yeah. I don't really get to the plot, but the plot's really simple. What really affects is the character and the writing. So, If you'll feel something like talk about, comment below. Remember to like the video, share, and subscribe.